This past week is the first time I've logged in to watch a midweek meeting before. I just have a few quick thoughts to share. It started off pretty basic, like the Sunday meetings. Then it went into some sales training presentations where people acted out parts like they were talking with someone at the door and inviting them to the memorial, or talking to someone new at the end of the memorial to try and get them to meet with them again. I assume this little practice happens at all the midweek meetings. I will say they actually did a pretty good job sounding sincere and passionate, so pretty good acting overall, actually. Of course, the householder in both cases was very open and happy to hear everything that JW had to say, so it was a really easy situation being enacted. Then one of the brothers presented their answer to a question about why they do the memorial once a year instead of what other groups do. It was a pretty standard answer, but one thing that made me laugh out loud was when he read the scripture, "Keep doing this in remembrance of me." He said, "It's almost like a command, isn't it?" Almost? Really? Also, as I've asked before, keep doing what exactly? How are they obeying this command? From there, they watched the governing body update number 2 with the new light about being nice to disfellowship JWs. In the previous Sunday meeting, they were already talking like this, so I had thought maybe they had already watched it. But I guess maybe they were just sort of prepping them for the talk that they would see at the midweek meeting. I know lots of people have commented already on this latest new light, so I won't get into that here too much, other than to say that it's really clear that they're rather desperately trying to slow the obvious hemorrhaging of membership that they've been having over the past number of years, especially since the internet, really, trying to basically sweet talk as many people back as they can. I've said it before, and I know others have too, that they're so obviously following the LDS or Mormon leadership in trying to make everything more, soft and mushy to make people think they're just harmless and basically like another Christian denomination that just has some new teachings they're super excited about. And hey, girls can even wear pants now. That should bring lots of disfellowship JWs back, right? After that was the reading of the questions and answers from the material and a rather warped walk through the account of Simon the Sorcerer. The brother at the front was sure to refer to Peter as a member of the governing body when talking about his rebuke to Simon. Clear brainwashing on there, as they've obviously been trying to make sure their members look to the governing body as if they're apostles or prophets sent by God with total authority over them. In fact, after he said that, he drew a direct parallel to the latest governing body update. Yuck. Then they continued on to proudly bash Christendom in that vague, broad brush way they love to try, and suggest that everyone but them are like Simon wanting to use money to gain position. This part I found interesting too, because then they go on to say how they shouldn't be paying special favor to anyone in the congregations. But isn't that what they do with things like the green handshake whenever anyone higher up in the org visits? Then they finish off with a final reminder to try and think of all the disfellowshipped and inactive family members and friends that they should invite to the memorial so maybe they can get them to start coming back to the org. And then one more reminder about the new dress code to finish off on a positive note. So that's nearly 2 hours of my life that I'll never get back. What a tedious meeting. But the online members talking before and after were always upbeat and positive, like they were super happy to be watching. I do not know how they do this every week, twice a week. If you're wondering if I plan to watch the memorial, I've decided to skip it this year. I have logged in previously to see them, and frankly, not only are they tedious, but also disturbing to watch. So yeah, no thanks, not this time, maybe next year. Though I do look forward to hearing what many YouTubers will have to say about how many women wore slacks to it for the first time this year.